Hey guys, Loman02, currently getting ready to play in a game of 100 card Singleton against player Jackie the Puppet. I'll be playing with Esper Miracles. This is a great hand. 3 lands, a curve on counter spells, engineer explosives to deal with anything that impacts the board, and I have a win con in my hand, which is Mystical Tutor. Drawing more lands is definitely not a problem. I'm gonna play with our basics first. And yeah, this hand's gonna, I think, progress very well. But we'll see. I mean, don't know what my opponent's on. Historically, likes to play 3 to 4 color, well, generally 4 color or more control style decks. So I think this deck is going to probably do well against him because it's just a little simpler than most of those are. Requires a little less to go right for it. All right, 4 spike, not a horrific draw. Don't need to show my second color yet, or third, that for that matter. If we wanted to find Underground Sea with the Marsh Flats. Although pre-board, really the only reason the deck runs black is for Demonic Tutor, Mystical Teachings on flashback, and then Engineered Explosives, so you can get it up to 3 if need be. I guess there was a world in which we wanted to play out the plains this turn. It would have played with less hidden information here. Alright, he gets a tapped land, fetid pools. So he could be very solidly in blue-black. I don't know. Could be a new build on his part. Alright, there's a personal tutor cast. I'm going to say okay to that. If I wanted to interdict this, I could Mystical Tutor for Portent to hide that card that he's finding. Could also just be building up his graveyard for a treasure cruise. Hard telling. But if it's a delve card, I would not mind memory lapsing it. Alright, deep analysis. Alrighty. Well, that's actually a great target to memory lapse. It forces him to redraw that card. Alrighty. Well, that was not a great draw. Okay, bizarre bite. Alright, he's reanimating. He's going to discard here. Alrighty. Well, I guess he's not going to attempt to cast the deep analysis here. Alright, nothing. Alrighty. So now the desired outcome of this is going to be to likely cast 3 spells during his turn. Could also just be an absorb plus a 4 spike. Just 2 spells. If we were to do 3, it would be a lapse plus 4 spike plus Alright, so I think we'll take a stab at this with the lapse here. Okay, Dark Ritual. And 4 spike. So I have options here. I am on a mystical tutor here. I mean, he could have metal misstep. If he had metal misstep, he would have used it there, though. I think I'm just gonna find tundra. I think I'm gonna be happiest just finding a treasure cruise. Say okay. And if he's got it, he's got it. I'm going to let him have it this turn, though. Okay. And go. Yes, he could get way back up on cards with Gristlebrand, but I think that's okay. He also has access to essentially 5 cards this turn with Yet Bizarre. If he can find another reanimation spell, then that would be good for him. Okay, Drain and Condescend down to 1 card. And it looks like we're going to go for it this turn. Alright, Living Death. Alrighty. So he gets a Gristlebrand back at 0 cards. Yep. Alrighty. I would think he would want to do it one more time. Now, I think we need to leave up 2 counter spells on this next turn. So, with that in mind, I think what we end up doing here is go for an Underground Sea. And Path to Exile this Brand. He'll get an additional land off of it, which stinks. And he has to debate if he wants to go to 2, which he possibly does. Okay, find his land. At this point, he should be getting close to being able to cast monsters. But fortunately for us, there are none in his yard, which, you know, if he wants to play a control game, we can do that, I think, decently well from where we stand right now. Yep. Back down to 7. Okay, well, there's no good creatures in his yard, so Burial Rites isn't really doing anything right now. Forbidden Alchemy is also another recastable, which is probably something I actually would not counter. Alright, and nothing. Interesting. I think I am going to cycle this land off here. Okay, I'm glad I did. Chances of finding another land were pretty high. Alright. Well, I think I will ponder here. I actually like this pile of cards. I'm going to put all of these back in. Yep. Can still double spell in a turn as it stands right now. I'm going to put this on top for any Planeswalker and then put this in my hand because it cannot be discarded here. And Caracas tends to be pretty good against the Reanimator style decks. If he's going to go for a Factor Fiction here, I think I'm okay with that. Yep, that's fine. I'm going to let that happen. Then I'll give him either Hymn to Turek. Alright, he puts Hymn to Turek in the yard. Hymn to Turek is the biggest threat card that I've got against me right now. mental note. Yep. And now if he can beat 2 counter spells, so I need to keep the Sire of Insanity off the board. The Elvish Norn I don't really care about. That's something I can deal with. The Sire of Insanity is a non-legendary card and would end up beating me. Yeah, each end step. Eeks. Yeah, that would be bad. I have a Detention Sphere on top, so I suppose I could Detention Sphere that card. Yeah, okay. The fight really needs to happen on their turn. Okay. Up to 9 cards. Okay. Alright, Tidespout Tyrant, also kind of a problematic card for us. Okay. Gets the mana drain. We'll attempt to counter this and probably get countered here, for lack of a better term. And now he's going to likely cast... Okay, Exhume. Alrighty. Oh, what do we Exhume here? Okay, Tidespout. Try to sphere this thing. Okay. Oh, what do you bounce? Yep. Alrighty, and go ahead, my friend. They'll reanimate the Sire of Insanity likely here with the Unburial Rites. They are lower again on cards, which is good for us. Yep, we're gonna entomb something. Okay. Well, maybe they forgot about their Unburial Rites way up there, because Sire of Insanity is actually very good against what I'm doing. Alright, so Iona. Okay. Well, if the plan is to reanimate Iona right here, as opposed to... I mean, I have Caracas, which would be bad for them. Yeah, that's fine. Iona naming white, I assume? Yeah, blue. Okay, well, I have Wrath of God in hand. And you know that because you thought seized me. Okay. Can have her back. Yeah, Sire of Insanity was the card he really wanted to get. Because that card is just a beatdown. I mean, I'll draw into a way to answer it, hopefully. But it's still a 4-turn clock. Iona is a, yeah, just go back to your hand clock. So probably Bizarre Baghdad end step here. Yep, looking for some other nonsense. I don't think we should be winning this game. Alright, Iona, Flusterstorm, and Daze. Yep. Despite being far down on cards, I don't feel like our per-se card relevance is that much worse. Alright, well, Jace is a big problem. But not unbeatable one. Yep. Okay, Demonic Tutor. Wasteland hitting the Caracas. Cool. Well, not really drawing so hot, but then again, I mean, our opponent is at 49 cards in deck to our 75, which means they've seen a lot of their deck. So, there is that. Okay. Well, I'm off the top. You're off the top. Okie doke. I'll just draw for the turn. I could. Alright, well, maybe I didn't want to draw for the turn. Alrighty, and go. Could have saved that to fight against Jace. It's an interesting card to be playing. I don't think it's good enough, but to quickly check it, it's a draft card from what's that set? It's been printed a couple times, I think. Dark Bargain. So it puts them down to 7. Alright, they're going to look at the top card of my library. And they put it on top, okay? And go. I think I'm cool with that. Go ahead. Go nuts. if they cast anything, I'm going to resort my library order, which will be nice, but it doesn't look like they're going to try to cast anything. More mana is probably always fine. By this point, my opponent probably has a lot of counter magic in hand. Thought Scour, sure. Yeah, sure. We're playing pretty much at this point just to get more information out of my opponent. It's possible we could win, but it's very, very low. It's probably below 5%. But my opponent has not played this particularly well. I think I should have lost many turns ago. Sire of Insanity was kind of the key to them winning, which leads me to believe they probably took this list from somewhere I don't understand. I possibly don't understand where all of the parts or all of the creatures want to be used. Sire is a game ender. This looks like a German Highlander version of Reanimator. So I wouldn't also be surprised if there's like a copy of a very uncastable spell in there. Yeah, you can have a sorcery speed card that I will force a fight over. Alright, pay 11. Alright, gets remanded. Cool. Finds a counterspell, okay. Counter this one too. Yep, I assume so. Like a mana leak or something. Alright, muddle the mixture. The mixture has been suitably muddled. Yeah, they have to find more counter magic. That's why I'm going to try to run them out of it. Alright, discard a bunch of landage. I've got 2 more draw steps, yeah. Alright, Baleful Strix, whatever. It is fine. Can actually even blow that up with the engineered explosives if I really wanted to. Careful study, yep. They can cast the Obsessive Search if they like, off Madness. Alrighty. And a Plains. Plains is not good. Alrighty, go ahead and start beating me down. I have 1 more draw step, so I have to basically double hit off the top and have them pretty much have nothing in hand. Not very likely. We'll see what happens with my card. If it goes to the top, I'm probably just dead. Put a card on top, yeah. And the chances are the card was going to go on top. This deck has not a ton of live draws. Alright, well, this card. So we'll probably go ahead and concede here. Not going to win this one. Go to sideboarding. And let's see what we have as far as options for reanimator strategies. Okay, well, we have this. Chromium's probably fine. Rest in Peace tends to be good. Back to Basics looked pretty good against them. I also like Dispel against their deck, and I like Chromium as a win con. A little more than I like, probably like Entreat. Moat, probably not necessary. What else do we want to cut? Probably Terminus. I can probably go down to just Wrath of God, Supreme Verdict, and then like the point removal. And the counter magic, you probably don't need Engineered Explosives. I still want to leave Entreat though, I think. Just as a win con. Vidalcan's Shackles is probably a little bit more marginal in this matchup. Huh. Not a huge fan of Serum Visions either. We're going to be on the play this time around. Could possibly cut Gideon. And maybe Personal Tutor, because we are just down to the Entreat. We don't have the Terminus in there anymore, which I don't really think we need. I think, typically speaking, you're just going to fight over. There's going to be certain key battles, but they're generally going to be permission-oriented, because they're kind of going. The deck should be going all in on one threat. And there you kind of saw we were able to stop all their threats, and we never really needed the Wrath. The Wrath just got discarded. So, this is an acceptable hand. And obviously their deck does have like turn 1 potential with, not turn 1 kill, but turn 1 potential with Entomb off of Dark Ritual into some sort of reanimation effect, which is a rough one to beat. But as soon as we get to our second land drop, I feel like we're going to be pretty safe for a while. Alright, they're just taking the damage. Okay. Now, the hope is they do nothing relevant here. They're probably going to Entomb, though. That's fine. Opponent also needs to watch their clock. They're roughly half the time we have left. I say him, okay. I'm going to say no thank you to that and give him my weakest counter spell here. This also allows me to build up my graveyard, which is nice. They could daze this if they want, then they'll probably get the Dissolve. Save the damage here, I suppose. Although there was an argument to just Scalding Tarning there for Tundra to build up my graveyard, but I can do that next turn as well. Just cycle this off to do some of the same. Negate's a good pickup here. Well, we'll see if we get Tundra with that. Now we may not want to. Yep. Cycle off your Fetid Pools. Probably going to get one of the other tapped lands, like the Sunken Hollow. No, it gets a Tundra. Okay. Well, I don't think I need to go for a Tundra yet of my own. I'm just going to go for an island here, I think. And I'm going to attempt to cause a fight here. Because if I can resolve, if I draw a land and I can resolve with negate backup back to basics, I think that's going to probably close the game out. Okay, they're going to let it happen. Cool. Take the bigger pile at this point in the game. Yeah, that's fine. could have fought over that, but I'd rather fight on something on their turn and just get my whole turn to back to basics. And now with the Flooded Strand, I do have fixing. All right, we're gonna start a fight over this. Oops. Yeah, we'll do this. Gonna bottom that. Kind of want to fight over it, but I guess they don't want to fight over it. Yeah, okay. Alright, back to basics. I'll effectively lose a land off of this as well. I assume they're holding some sort of counter magic. You know, we're going to slam a Jace here. Slamming a Jace could win the game for my opponent, but I feel like with a Jace of my own in hand, my chances of hitting pretty well are not horrendous here. Okay, that is a thing that will happen. Discard Serum Visions, I think. Attempt this. Alright, now I feel like we have a hard lock on the game. Okay. You can force a will it if you like. Or Spell Pierce would do it. Yeah. He also has basics in that deck though, so eventually he can whiff. Alright. Okay. What did he take? A snow-covered island. Alright, he just found an island. Alright. Ancestral Visions is fine. That doesn't really do anything. I do really want to find a land. Come on, deck. Alrighty. And actually, let's just eliminate this now and just say go. Doesn't really matter how many cards he has in hand here. It's how many spells he can cast. At the end of the day is what's relevant at this very point. So go ahead and do whatever you can do with your mana you got available. Buried Alive. Just prohibit. Well, prohibiting is good. Alright, we're just going to start doing this now. No. I'm going to look for a land here. Alright, did not find a land. Guess I could shuffle this. Yeah, let's just shuffle it. Okay, go ahead. Yep, it's fine. Nope, you can draw that. Nope. Draw it again. No thanks. Alrighty. Nope. And this is kind of what can happen in these games. I mean, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go nuts. Draw 2 and discard 1. T-Del still in the deck. Interesting. Alright, well, they're up to 4 mana. Still don't think it matters. Really has to be pressuring me right now because Jace is just going to win the game. Not really in a rush. I don't need to act. There's a Chromium. That card is hilarious. Still in the deck randomly because I haven't edited this deck since I last played it and want to play Chromium. No, it's fine. You can have that. Alright. No more islands in the deck. Interesting. Alright. Well, if it's just going back to me, maybe he has a stifle effect of some sort. I can probably win that fight. Probably. That's fine. Okay, Tide Spout, try to bounce that dude. No, thank you. Probably not going to win a counter fight here. Okay. Yep. Game man. Alright. I was going to say, I can cast my dragon and try to win my dragon this turn. Or faster than he would mill. Yeah, no, let's just try to run this again. I think this was a good mix against Reanimator. Okie doke, this is a great hand against Reanimator. I like it. Keep. Alright, discard turn 1. Nope, just this thing. That thing is fine. Give a turn 2 Liliana. That would be annoying. Nope. Okay, Demonic Tutor. Well, I think the opponent's probably up against it here. If they don't know automatically what they're going to be demonic tutoring for, then it probably means it's a tough call. There's certainly probably lines, but they don't have a lot of time to mull it over, being at 1 minute and 25 seconds, and now 24 and counting. So I think we're going to get there just on time alone, which, you know, is not a great way to win a match, but it is a way. I'll wait to do that until end step. I can't think of anything else that could go in the graveyard. Now, not that it really matters, but I mean, yeah, maybe I should have just done it then just to get the value. Alright. Nope, go ahead. Ostensibly, the only way they get me is if they play a must counter. Alright, Bazooka Bog. Cool. Targeting me, yep, of course. I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to snipe off their death right here. Yep, you can get my Mana Leak or my Jace. Kind of interested to see which one they'll take. Alright, I'm going to get a clock kill here. I kind of want to play this game out too. Alright, take the Mana Leak. feel bad because this card does eat up time for my opponent. I know it does. It's a very slow card to play against. It's very annoying as far as clock management goes on MTGO. But I'm going to do it regardless, right? Alright. Yep. We draw next. If MTGO will show me. Alright, guys. We'll go ahead and cut it there. That was Esper Miracles versus Esper Reanimator. Pretty cool matchup. Lost the first game, but ended up costing my opponent a lot of time. They probably didn't have to give up due to a more optimal line of play, reanimating the Sire of Insanity. So we'll go ahead and cut it there. Let's see if we can play another game. Screw it. We'll play another game. You get a 2-for-1 right now. So here, let's figure out what do we want to play against Reanimator. I'm good with a lot of things against Reanimator. Probably like, I don't know. Could play a white deck. Yeah, why not? Alright, what do we think of this hand? This hand's great. It's got a Leonin Arbiter, which is probably going to be a strong card against my opponent. It's got a Benevolent Bodyguard to kind of protect. It's got Thalia. Yeah, this hand's good. It's got a Geddon to go over the top. The Geddon may be a little slow, but they'll probably be forced to remove the Thalia. So, there's a keeper. The only card that's like not really great against like a Reanimator style deck is going to be the Bramaz, but what can you do? They could be on something completely different too. So, we could just be running into Folly here. I'm going to go ahead and not fetch this turn and play on a Benevolent Bodyguard. Say go. Alright, they're going to Mental Misstep a Benevolent Bodyguard. It seems like a play. Not really a great one. Is this a him? No him. Okie doke. Well, I think for this turn, I'm just going to play out the Thalia and hope that slows down my opponent enough. Just in case, because I didn't draw another land, in case I draw like a fetch land or something like that, there is a world in which I don't want to have the Leonin Arb in play to slow me down just as much as my opponent. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, at this point, I am going to play it out. If they have Dark Ritual plus Toxic Deluge, I'm going to run into it here. But I want to put the pressure on them. I got it. I could have left up the Caracas for the Thalia and just had a 2-for-1 happen. But if they're discarding here, which it looks like they are doing, I think we're in a very good spot. Alright, Gristlebrand goes into the yard. But I have a Caracas available to me, so should be okay. And he cannot draw with the Gristlebrand anymore, which means that my onboard presence is likely very lethal. Alright, go to game 2. Remorseful Cleric is definitely a card. That card should be in the main deck. I don't know what I'm thinking there. Samurai the Pale Curtain, yes. Do I want Fragmentize? Possibly. I probably want Parallax Wave. I probably do not need the Batterskull and the Sword of Fire and Ice. I probably don't mind having the Sword of Light and Shadow. But I probably don't need to have the Stoneforge Mystic in the deck. I think this is going to be fine. I think this is what we're going to go with here. Yeah. We'll try this. Not a ton of Graveyard Hate, but a decent bit. Actually, Ring Wingmare is probably pretty good in this matchup, too. So maybe we should look at that and possibly cut like something like a Johnny. Yeah, Johnny's a little slower. Yep, you definitely cannot get mana screwed against White Weenie. You'll lose games that way. The deck obviously punishes very rapidly. It's a clock-based disruptive deck, so I do think it's a 50-50 matchup. All right, well, this hand's got to be keepable because it has a Containment Priest in it. I mean, that doesn't mean it's got to be, but it probably is. We're going to keep this. And if we get turn 1 or turn 2, well, that stinks, but that's going to happen. Alright. Thoughtseize away my Containment Priest, likely. Which is annoying, but what can you do? Planes go. Alright, the worst case is we get mana drained here. But we're going to give it a shot. Say go. Alright, lives. Kind of cool. Gonna die here. Alright, we're just gonna Thought Scour. There's an Entomb. And a Massacre. Okay. Yep. Massacre is actually not very good against Anafenza or Banalish Marshal. It tends to allow them to grow out of range. So, there is that. Alrighty. Bizarre. Alright, looks like we're going to see a fatty this turn. And let's see which one it is. We may not. They certainly did not hit well off the Thought Scour as far as what they put in the yard. So, there is that. Okay, yeah, nothing really that great. Okay, well, we're going to dig through time here. Which could be very bad for us. We shall see. Okie doke. Well, we're going to attempt to do this. If we get dazed, cool. We have a daze in hand or a force of will. Alright, they have daze. Nope, can't do it. So you got me. Okay, going to draw discard first. Alright, a bunch of land into a Dark Slick Shores, so we know they have Underground Sea in hand, right? Okay, play this dude out. Get it countered, probably. If we get it countered, I think that's still fine, though. No? Okay. I'll put it on the one that's attacking this turn. Play this thing out. Oh, very close to dead next turn. They can't take a lot more damage, or much more damage whatsoever. Okay, Tide Spout. Okay, Necromancy. So if I can answer this, I probably just win the game, right? crack in there. Okay, careful study. Just gonna put my opponent down on cards, though. They'll bounce my Hallowed Spirit Keeper. Cool. But all of their cards go into the graveyard, while all of their instants and sorceries are going to be exiled now, which is nice. Okay. Yeah, do you want to attack? No, you do not, but you're 0 cards. That factory looks ugly as heck. Wonder what happened to the artwork on it. Alright. And you go at it, my man. Played out 3 threats, essentially, because of the land threats. What have you got? It's a Toxic Deluge. I actually cannot cast that to kill one of my threats, so that would be a problem for them. Okay, Buried Alive. Cool. I think you're still dead. Yeah. Okay, that thing's gone. Still dead. Unless there's something I'm not thinking of. Can you Buried Alive, like something... It's up to 3 creature cards. No, there's nothing that would... Nothing that I can think of that would work here on 0 cards. Okay. Alrighty. And game. Good game, man. Alright, so we'll see if he wants a 3rd game. What do we want to do next? Could do Pattern Rector, could just do Red Deck Wins. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try Red Deck Wins. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Basically 2 combo decks versus each other. Alright, so it looks like we have the play, which is, I think, good for us. This hand looks great, actually. Yeah, keep. Alright, no mental missteps, a big game for us, because that means we likely get to hit. If he switched up decks, well, that's going to be rough for him, because Grixis, which is I think he's playing now, has a tougher time against this style of deck. I think we just go for a Sim Prouder next turn. Yes, it does run into Toxic Deluge a lot worse. But it also means that our Abbot can scale a little better over time. Alright, Merchant Scroll for what? Probably... Well, if he goes for Mystical Tutor to find the T-Del, or to find like a 3-mana Wrath, then it's going to take him an extra turn to do. Alright, he gets Electrolyze. Okay, well I can knock out one of my threats into Mox Opal. Okay. he can electrolyze this thing. I'll just keep 2 threats on the board. Just be mana efficient here. I'm not going to play out the Abbot into an obvious electrolyze. Alright, Clasms. Alright. Swing in, put down to 10. I think it's worth just doming him. Okay. Okay. Alright, Abbott. Alright, well, have the answer. I don't think he's going to have another Clasm in hand, but if he does, he does. This is a lot of things that require answering to, and I'm almost at 6 mana. I mean, I draw a land, I probably win. I draw a spell, I probably win, because I have the Kenra. Unless you can exile the Kenra. Okay. So, Blood Moon and Magus is probably not that good, actually. Never mind. Magus kind of rough. Probably want Scald. I want Scald. Price of Progress probably fine in this matchup. I actually don't mind the Direfleet Daredevil either. The Blast are probably a-okay. And then what do we end up cutting? I do like Chandra quite a bit in this matchup. Hellrider's a little more dubious. I mean, cut Ball Lightning. It just dies to so much that my opponent was apparently playing. Maybe Hellrider too is just so mana inefficient. I think we really want to just be as efficient as possible in this matchup. Flame Rift is non-targeted damage, which tends to be a little worse. And then what else? Fiery Confluence I think I want to keep. Koth is still fine. Rift Bolt belongs down here. Maybe it's just Lava Spike, like the non-targeted stuff. I think I'd rather eschew. Sin Prodder was not looking that hot there. Yeah, we'll cut him out. Sin Prodder's kind of a must answer because it does so much damage, but alright, this hand looks great. This is a great red deck wins hand. So, yep, we're going to keep it. It's got good early game and late game in the form of Fiery Confluence and Price. Alright, well now it has like a great little curve going on. We have a Metal Misstep. Alright, Scalding Tarn in hand. What does he find here? Blue-black or blue-red? Probably blue-red. No, just blue. Okay, Sky Diamond. Alright. Alright, Polluted Delta in hand. Seems fine. Probably going for the Rabble Master next turn. Okay. Heuristic Study, that card's fine. I don't know what the plan is here. Maybe to make this thing a 3/3, which I think is fine. Okay. You gonna shoot down the Rabble Master? It'll kind of seem weak to me because if you shoot down the Rabble Master, then everything else just gets through, and like it's just too much mana to keep up with me, I think. Yep. Everything is attacking. Alright, Snow-Covered Island. So Goblin Guy's been pretty good to my opponent. You can eat one of the 2/2s, but you're still taking a boatload of damage. Okay, I was going to say, I think you have to trade and then shoot one of the other things. You can shoot 3 of the other things, yep. Alright. Yes, I could have sent that in, I know. But I kind of want to see what they would do. Because I could have also resolved a moon, but the moon actually seems bad. Now that we've seen more of their deck, they're like a blue-red moon deck. Okay. Alright, Spire Bluff, cool. Yep. So you're now down to 5. Okay, what do we have? What's the big play? See if they want to counter this. Take 2. Yep, that's fine. It's only 2 damage, so it's only a shock. Alright, this resolves. Okay, Cold Steel Heart is fine, doesn't really do anything. Stifle. Alrighty. Well, there that goes. I'll try something else here. Oop. Can play a good mid-range deck. Could do that. Try some 4-color blood action. If he still wants to play. You get a potpourri smattering of 100-card games here. Alrighty, so hand's close. Needs red to go really right for it. Doesn't have any access to red right now. This is a close hand. I'm going to keep it on the draw to see what happens for science. I mean, we're already up 3 games against poor Jackie, so we'll play a game where some variance will play into it. Gladly take some damage here. See what's going on over here. This hand kind of looks like a pile. Actually, the hand's a huge pile. It's only got 1 land in it. Let's see if he can draw one. Alright, drew a land. He's got a Dark Ritual, so I mean he could get lucky here. I don't think that hand was keepable, but I don't know. Everyone plays a little differently, right? Alright, so we need Demise pretty well. Alright. Well, this may have worked out pretty well for them. Now I have to draw into something to answer this. If I don't, I'm going to lose the game very assuredly. Although they had to get very lucky there. That was a shady-ass keep. Alright, well that's not going to do it. That was a very shady keep. Sometimes you just get lucky. It was really what? I didn't read it. Okay, rest in peace. Get in there. I don't want choke against his opponent. Probably not. Collective Brutality is probably fine. This card's fine as well. Probably cut her. I don't really care for this card in this matchup. I don't think that card may not be worthy of the deck anyways, to be honest. Terminate's fine. The damage base removal, like the little ones like this, is probably not that good. Arc Trail still is damage. Yeah, that was... Alright, what do I think of this? I can get Scavenging Ooze with this. Yeah, this is a keeper. Yeah, I mean, you got there, man. I'm not saying... it was wrong. Like, keeping that was wrong. Like, that was greedy as hell. It was not... It was a very hopeful keeper. I don't disagree that Dark Ritual was kind of helping linchpin that hand together, but I also don't think it was correct. Alright. Alright, we're going to lose the game this turn? We may be. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Well, evidently discard our hand. Alright, take 4. Yep, take some damage. No, I'm good this turn, actually. Probably get a Badlands here. Is Badlands available off of this? Oh, the Badlands in my yard. Well, hope we don't draw black cards, I suppose. I guess I have to throw all this under the bus. That kind of sucks. Well, it was a good draw. Alright. Well, we draw another reanimation spell. Nope, a land. Cool. Alright, go ahead. If they draw another land, we could possibly bolt the T-pit out of the way. That's my black mana fixing, which is good. In the deck, this deck I'm running can run on 4 lands. Okay. I hope they just attack with the T-pit. That would be optimal. Okay, let them turn it sideways and hopefully blow it up. This is the line they should have taken against my more controlling build, I think. They have another reanimation spell they drew into. That would stink. Okay, Merchant Scroll for what? Mystical Tutor? Could just be Dig Through Time. They can't cast that this turn, right? No. So, that means we'd have to draw like a discard spell. Alright, Dig Through Time. They have another land. If they don't, I feel okay about that. Alright, well, we just drew into land, so go ahead, my friend. Alrighty. Probably do want to fetch with one of these, maybe both. I mean, I don't want to burn up an opportunity with Tireless Tracker, but I mean, there's certainly draws where they can just they could land the Sire of Insanity, but that would probably mean they find land, play land, reanimate down to 1 card in hand. All right, they don't find land. Okay. All right, Bayou. I think we just go for the gusto here. Find a Savannah. Still playing around. I guess Daze not castable. Force of Will could be. All right, put the screws to him. Sire of Insanity's not getting through this at a minimum. It will be blocked quite handily. And they'll be discarding more cards than I will be. Okay, TC's fine. I mean, they didn't play a land last turn, which is interesting to me. I guess they have another floating right now, but the Sire is gone, which is, I suppose, decent. And they could be like reanimating a Gristlebrand or something. I mean, that would be miserable, but what can you do? Sire of Insanity. The Tide Spout Tyrant would also be very annoying here as well. All right, well, no reanimation target at a minimum. personal tutor. Cool. Okay, buried alive. Okay. Alright, go nuts. Gonna put the screws to him as fast as we can here, I think. Alright, that's tapped, which means that if they do play Urborg this turn, that is no longer a mana source, which is nice because they do have to spend 3, it would seem, ostensibly, to reanimate a card. Okay, Dread Return. Oh, okay. Brainstorm. Maybe we have them. One good crushing blow from Gideon may have been enough. I'm not gonna count yet. I'm not gonna count it yet though. They haven't played a land yet, which means they could now reanimate would not do it here. They're at 5 life, so they are low enough that like the life-based reanimation effects are not going to be great. Down to a virtual 4 if they want to use that. Okie doke. Cool. All right. Did not expect to get there on that one. All right. Well, Reb and Pyroblast are probably still correct to get. Gaddock Teague is interesting, but I don't think necessary. Tassiger is more attritional. I don't think I need that dude. Alright, let's try this out. Alright, this hand's got to be a keeper, right? I mean, unless we get, like, turn 1 out of the game. I mean, it's got to be a keeper, right? Yeah. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's a keepable hand in this matchup. So, yep. Yeah, no, I feel like I managed to slide my way out of that one. Yes, I could have played the Mana Confluence out to have Lightning Bolt available, but if they don't play it, Deathrite Shaman on turn 1, I don't really care about it. Okay, mental note. Yep. What does this card do? Everyone discards cards and whatnot. Alright, well, I got bad news for you. Do we play around days? I guess not. If they have days, we get owned, but okay. And then we're just going to start playing 3/2s out next turn to attack, I guess. Yep. We'll trap him on the top. Just go ahead and blow up the search for his Kanto right now. Not that I think search is going to be great in this matchup with an onboard. Just going to pop this thing as well. Okay, we got hemmed. Cool. Take 3, gain 3, go. Okay, a Jace. Yeah, good draw. Basically a creature. Jace just a blocker. Alright, well, Rest in Peace tends to be good against the Reanimator deck, huh? Good game, man. Alright, let's see if we do one more. Do Pattern Rector. Could just do, no, Battle Wits. Do 4-color Scape Shift. Well, alright guys, quick pause. We may be back to see if we can get some more games in, but it looks like we may be done for the day. Alright guys, nope, we're back. And we're going to be having, what is a 5th or 6th game here. What do we think of this hand? This hand is acceptable. Yes, a keeper. Alright, Islands. Preordain. Yeah, okay. Well, drawing another mountain was not exactly optimal. Get a Bayou here. And draw into a Tropical Island, unless they daze this. Yep. I guess I should have gotten a Breeding Pool, because I don't really care. I mean, I'm not probably going to repeal a 0-mana spell. The chances of that are pretty low. Okay. This will probably get countered. Hopefully not by Mana Drain. If it is, okay. Alright, it's an X spell. Condescend? Okay. Well, you got it. Not the most favorable outcome, but I couldn't have played around it. We're going to have to play another mountain out here, which means we're down to 24 total damage that we can do with our lands off of Scape Shift. So we're hoping not to see any more mountains out of the deck. Okay, Caracas. It's good against our Titania. Okay, land's definitely not poor. And what will we see here? A Jace? No, no Jace. Alright, this may get countered as well, but it's got buyback, or not buyback, flashback. Alright. Probably just get dig. Probably for the best. Wouldn't mind drawing land here, so... Okay. I'll take the damage. Represents a little bit more. Alright. Well, we'll probably just be recasting Mystical Teachings on their end step. Go ahead and do some teachings here. If they want to counter it, cool. Just get a fact here, I think. Because all of my relevant stuff can be done on end step, I will do it on their end step. Okay. They're looking for mana at this point. Alright, snow-covered plains is fine, I think. Alright, fact or fiction. Okay. Can only do 21 damage now. Let's impulse here. Take a flats. Yep. It bounces with Caracas. It's fine. Okay, that'll happen. Basically give them an easy choice of like 2 worthless spells or 2 worthwhile spells, in my opinion at least. Okay, they take the 2 worthwhile spells. Yep. Goes back to hand. Well, what do they do this turn? They're obviously a little bit mana short. We can win on the next turn if we don't draw into the... this is going to be the TC, probably. Which is fine. It means they're going to discard a whole boatload of cards. They probably want to try to fight me before they cast it. Unless they just have junk in hand. If they just have junk in hand, well, then we're probably going to be able to win on that. Okay. Cryptic's not a bad one for us to see out of them. Okay. Okay, Underground Sea. It's a Jace. You know I have a bazillion cards in hand, so I mean, the thing is, like, he wants to resolve a threat, but he doesn't want to resolve a threat, because if he resolves a threat, that means he has to discard less cards, which is better card advantage play, but he also knows that tempo, I pretty much have it right now. The ball's in my court, so if he resolves a 4-mana threat, which is what the Esper deck tends to run as 4-mana threats, 4 and up threats. Alright, well, we have this thing. Okay. Feel okay with this. Okay. Alright, puts no cards into their hand. Okay, Sphinx's Rev. Never found the time for that, I suppose. Alright, well, Baloth is kind of a blank, so... let's cast this gentleman out. Do you have a daze as well? No, okay. Well, this should be 21 damage, I want to say. It's a little tight, but... oh, they're at 17 now, so it's going to be lethal either way. So, Volcanic. Valakut. Taiga. Stomping Grounds, Steam Vents, yeah. So I really do think they had to discard there, but it really just depends on what they had in hand as well. I mean, it's hard telling if they, if they had more countermatch. If they just didn't, then we know they don't, and that's probably still very good for us. So Cinderglade, the old Cinderglade, this thing, and then that is it for mountains, right? So we'll just get a Lumbering Falls, I suppose. No. And it should be 21. Yeah, exactly 21. So this, yeah, just keep in mind the deck can always do 30 from Neutral bias having no mountains or no mountains in hand or in play. Okay, so against control, I don't think my matchup's horrendous against control. Well, Flash Freeze probably no. Probably Blue Elemental Blast, Hydro Blast. Oh, no, not these cards. I'm sorry. These are anti-Red Deck Wins cards. Probably a Dispel. Skite, probably not. Nature's Claim's interesting. Probably Relic. Probably don't need Toxic Deluge. Probably don't need Radiant Flames. I don't mind keeping in, like, I guess I don't have any other Wraths. Yeah, this should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and submit here, guys. Quick pause. I'm going to use the restroom. We'll be right back to conclude this game. Alright, guys, we're back. This is a very keepable hand. It has 2 red spells. I'm tracking. I don't have red mana, but I don't really need to cast these 2 red spells quickly. They'll probably end up just going to face, to be honest. The way we get punished here is... Alright, well, I want both of these. So, top, is if they have, like, JVP, Jace Vrin's Prodigy, or Search for Iskanta. And I didn't leave up the Snare. But they don't. And the chances of that are lower. Play on a Bayou, say go. And we'll use the Impulse here. We're probably actually going to look for red mana just to be able to use Izzet Charm. And we need to get a land anyways just to cast Factor Fiction. Okay. Yeah, Serum Visions is fine. Not going to do anything against that. Honestly, the favorable exchange here is just for me to get to Impulse on the end step and say go to my opponent. Top, bottom, okay. I doubt they counter an Impulse. Okay, well, there's possible red mana. Putting a Shift on the bottom. I could have taken Shift there, but I'm just so far away from that I think taking it now would be very premature. I think the highest probability... I guess it doesn't really change what we do here. I mean, I guess we could play Memory Lapse plus Snare here. So we're probably going to get a Volcanic Island with the Polluted Delta. It's most likely. Alright. Well, that Search for Tomorrow is enticing, but I think I'd rather just have more cards right now. Or at least force them to tap their mana on their turn. Yeah, it's fine. Probably find a mana drain with it. We'll see what they find. We may still do this on our end step here. Just go for Factor Fiction here. Okay. Because I got Factor Fiction, I think I'm fine waiting. Okay, Tech Edge. If they want to try to do that now, then that's, I think, okay with me. I don't mind if their Factor Fiction resolves before mine. Now, the most disastrous line of play would be like this gets countered and they Factor Fiction. Okay, we're just going to reman. It's fine. Oops. Okay. Nope. Get two decent counter spells out of their hand, and now they have to do something. They could, treasure cruise or dig through time this turn, but they're already up on cards. And they're up on mana right now, so they ostensibly are advantaged on board, but they have to act. Okay, back to basics. It's actually a horrible card against my deck, but I think it's okay. Not horrible, but it's not great against my deck, that's for sure. Okay. Okie doke. Cut a bolt here. Not an optimal draw, but still land, and one that we are not going to be upset to have here. Alright, we're not going to play Cinderglade out. We will discard Mystical Teachings. Alright, we're going to play Cinderglade out now. I don't really feel like discarding again. Alright. Let's see if this happens. They can counter this if they like. Unless they're going to. I think this is a waste of counter magic, though. I think eventually they have to expect that I'll draw out of it. That's fine. So I do run a lot of basic lands. I guess they didn't see that aspect of my deck last game, which is acceptable. I guess that's a reason to bring in back to basics. I just don't think this isn't gaining them what I think they want to gain out of back to basics. We'll kick the burst lightning here. I think that's the easiest choice here. Okie doke, you can have this, and this, or the other two, which I think are better. Kick this card, and go. Okay, Gideon. And we're probably dead at this point. They've managed to find a way to kill us. Alright, well, there's a land. Alright, snow-covered island, please. Gonna be looking for a snow-covered forest. There one is. Alright, well, this last Then likely this on top. Yeah. The Wrath of God was discarded. Okay, Elsbeth. Does that make me dead next turn? It does. And we will get a Swampy Swamp. And we will concede. I'm actually just showing my opponent this to see if they can board out. The Back to Basics is actually not very good against us, but it was good there. So knowing that they have that card, we have Abrupt Decay in our deck. Do we want Crows and Grip to beat that card? It's possible. What is it better than? Possibly like Titania? Yeah, we'll cut Titania for it. Actually, Obstinate Baloth is probably worse than Titania in this matchup. Let's leave Titania in. Titania's just a better option, right? Bring in Nature's Claim too, but I think Corrosion Grip's just fine. Alright, what do we think of this hand? This hand's close. I'm going to keep this, but it's very, very close. Just get an island here, say go. You get a Bayou here, say go again, I think. What I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna take a look. Should let my opponent go here. And hope they don't have both Force of Will, Daze, plus Back to Basics, because that would be kind of rough here. This card's actually actively bad against me, but I'd rather them redraw it. Alrighty. Okay, Temple of Epiphany is fine, I think. Let's take a look at what's going on over here. Alright, Counterspell and a bunch of nonsense. Well, that was one of the worst draws in the deck. Okay. If this gets countered, I'm just slamming a Jace. I'd be happy if it got countered, actually. Okay. Yep. Jace the Mind Sculptor, draw 3. Alright, and your go. Alright, they found a land. Let's just make sure that was one of the lands they found. No, they had it in hand. So they have Caracas X in hand. Just go ahead and cultivate here. Shuffle that Caracas back in. I probably want Islands. We already have in play. And Forest. Yeah, an opponent's probably in some trouble now. Okie doke. Okay, we don't know my opponent's hand anymore. So what have they got? A Geist of Saint Draft. Well, I'm going to fight over that. And if they have a counterspell for that, cool. No. Well, let's look at our options first. I'm going to put one probably Badlands into play here. Let's just bounce this thing. Get another island here. Demonic Tutor. I mean, if they have a counter, I think they would have probably spent it by now, but I don't know. They could have, like, some sort of conditional counter. And if they do, I mean, I still have Jace. I'm not really losing here. Alright, so we're just going to get the, if we can find it, Escape Shift. There it is. Alright, hand go. And double counterspell back up next turn with a Jace activation seems like probably game over for my opponent. But we shall see. Alright. I mean, even if they have, like... See, the thing is, like, they're not going to play a threat that kills me this turn, I don't think. I don't think it's possible. Alright. Suppose we take a look and see if there's more counter magic to be had. There is not. So we'll put these two back. Alright. This should win out. The last card we know about, so... Yep, and that would be game. That's 27 damage? Yeah, good game, man. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. That's a lot of gaming for one video, a lot of different archetypes in the 100-card Singleton format. I hope you enjoyed it. Probably a little less explanation today because we're playing for a while, but hope you guys enjoyed seeing the wide variety of decks that are viable in the format, and yeah, very, very cool format. A lot can be done with it, and Definitely, I think a skill testing format to a large extent. Had some stops there on our side towards Jackie. Well, he does have some some draws that definitely put us into corners and won few of the games in there. But I think over time, the format is definitely one that benefits experience, and as far as deck construction and play go, because it plays out much more like an eternal format, like some ways vintage. It doesn't have like it has the diversity of modern, but generally the assuredness of vintage um, in regards to skill tending to shine through both in construction and in play. And Jackie's a newer player; he's a very solid player, but his decks do tend to be a little more all in, excepting the Azorius deck we saw there near the end. And those sort of decks, can obviously do well in specific games, and certain times can win tournaments. But I think over a long enough time horizon, the inconsistencies of them will tend to limit their overall quality of winning records. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it there, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back for more at some point in time. All right, guys, take care and enjoy.